Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
It's your boy Stoner P.
Once again, we back on Smoker's Closet. You got the rock, the Rastafari Smoking Samurai. We got a special guest today. You know what I mean? A real heavyweight in the game. You know what I'm saying? The one and only Frankie Payne. Yeah, boy.
Yeah, what's up? What's up?
Don't know. Don't know, man. Don't know.
What's going on, fam?
I'm here, B.
It's been a long time in the game, man. Real long time.
Oh yeah.
20 years since
Yeah.
everything for a reason.
20 years
yeah.
since everything's for a
Speaking
reason.
of that, let me just
Yep.
grab that.
Big anniversary. That was last year. You know what I'm
Last year.
saying? But
Still feels like
Still-
20 years.
still-
Still in the
still-
20 column.
oh yeah. Huge milestone for me. You know what I mean? I remember
Yeah,
when
boy.
when that album came out in 2000. You know what I mean? It was a different Toronto. Toronto really wasn't, all money in with the hip hop music scene. You know what I mean? And we're just trying to kind of make it pop and make people
Rebrand
understand. Make people understand that real music comes out of Toronto. But we did that.
That was
Been
like
doing that.
that was like 20 years ago, eh?
Yeah,
I could
21 now.
You
'Cause
know,
that
I
was-
could still bump that album.
Of course.
No, real shit. I was bumping that album the other day. In fact, I have it in the CD player here. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, you know what? Enough mans be bumping that album. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Oh,
Straight
hell
goods.
yeah.
Enough mans still bump that album because, one thing with me is that I've always tried to make not music that's popular, but music that's timeless. You know what I mean? Music that has no shelf life, and that's a term that we used back in the days to kind of gauge, how long a song would be popular or how long a song, would be relevant, And over the years, so many times, I can't tell you countless times that, real dudes from the street and, real dudes just in general from any aspect of life have kind of been like, wow, the other day I put in that everything's for a reason and I was listening to the tracks and, everything that you're saying in that, even though it was 5 years ago or 10 years ago or 15 years ago, you know what I mean, is relevant right now.
You're advanced
You know what I
before
mean?
your time.
Yeah.
No, yeah. Like we had a little conversation earlier, man.
Yeah.
You are advanced before your time. No
Well,
doubt.
honestly, I've always kind of been, when it comes to writing music, I've always kind of been a bit of ahead of what's going on at the current time. I've always kind of been a bit ahead of my
10
time.
steps ahead. You
Yeah.
gotta think that, right?
So, with that being said, a lot of times my process is to write songs, write music, and then put it down. You know what I mean? And kind of just let it sit and simmer for a little
Marinate
bit.
that bitch.
You know what I mean? Until the time actually catches up with that song or that music. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And then at that time when I feel like, it's time to kind of release it and it's kind of sat down and kind of cured it long enough, then I'll release the music.
Well, I just want to go a little back, just a little back. You know what I mean? Before even that album. You know what I'm saying? That album is a classic, people. A classic. If you haven't heard it yet, you better tune into
Fact.
it. Okay?
Everything.
If you haven't heard it, it's on Spotify, it's on Apple Music. You know what I mean? Just look for Frankie Payne, Frankie, Payne, Payne, and you'll be able to listen to it in an array of different projects that I have available to the public.
Yeah. Well, you are a man of every decade. That is for sure in the culture for Toronto hip hop. You know what I'm saying? I have to say this.
Thank you.
Straight up goods.
Respect.
Like I'm saying, I want to go a little back. Where did it begun? Like, where did it begin? Where did it all begin?
Where's the roots?
The roots
Well,
of it.
I mean, the very, very beginning, I would say it started with my father. When I was young, my father was heavily into the breakdancing scene. You know what I mean? So,
Okay.
yeah. So, like, I started out actually breakdancing. You know what I mean? So, I know I wasn't this big then. You know what I'm saying? But
I can see it still. You still have that 1-2 step.
yeah. Oh, I got the 1-2 step for sure. But yeah, I started out breakdancing, and like me and my dad would go see like a lot of younger people may not be aware of this, but the hip hop scene kind of started with breakdancing. You know what I mean? And
The
there were
graffiti and all.
The
yeah, the
B-boys.
graffiti and the breakdancing culture, right?
Other elements, what like I would have to say not really forgotten, but kind of lacking. You know what I'm saying?
Well, breakdancing, I think breakdancing is hugely a forgotten.
No, but what,
a
what I mean,
forgotten,
but what I mean by,
skill.
but what I mean by that, like endorsing it with the culture, like you know what I mean. There's hardly
Yeah.
any of it in like music videos and stuff like that.
Yeah, because
You know
there's
what I'm
different
saying?
stuff now.
Because
It's been
everything's
replaced by
sexual.
different types. Exactly.
Everything's sexual.
Everything's sexualized. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. So now it's like twerking and
Yeah.
those type of dance
Whatever
moves.
happened to where
Yeah.
two guys battle it out.
And it's also
in a
too the
circle.
gangster culture, too the street culture.
Yeah.
That whole mentality where it's like gangsters don't dance. You know what I'm saying? Like back in the days, you know what I'm saying? Like some of the hardest some of the
Gangsters
hardest
don't
guys
dance.
out on the block, you know what I mean, were break dancers as well. You know what I'm saying? They break dance, you know what I'm saying, do some moves and then tear your face off. You know what I mean?
Hey,
So
back in the hood, it's all about the C-Walk. We C-Walk. We don't even see that no
oh
more.
yeah,
We
that
don't even
even
see a
that even.
C-Walk no more.
But that again, that's all like wrapped up into gangster culture. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
but
saying?
like when the origin came from with breakdancing and was C-Walking, you know what I mean? Yeah, there was C-Walking, but where did
But that was,
all go?
but
You know what I
another
mean?
way. It was another way to battle. You get what I'm saying?
True. Yeah.
Breaking was another way
Yeah,
to battle
definitely,
to get your
definitely.
point across. You
But
get what I'm saying?
back to like the origin
Yes.
of everything, right?
Yes.
So it
Back
started
to
out
that.
with like breakdancing, and my dad used to take me to go to because there were like big blockbuster movies that came out that were about breakdancing. Because breakdancing was like huge on the scene at the time. It was, coming out as like an aspect of the culture that the media wanted to kind of appropriate. You know what I mean?
What year you would think that would somewhere in like in the 80s,
Oh yeah, this is
like mid 80s or so?
mid to late 80s.
We don't have to say an exact year.
Fuck,
Yeah,
probably
mid to late
From
80s.
before I was
You know what I
born.
mean? Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Well, I was born.
Facts.
But like
Facts.
let's
He's great.
And I'm 80s.
These gray hairs are real, son.
let's get back to the beginning, back to the foundation. What like
Mhm.
you know what I mean? You said your pops is like a great inspiration to you and all. You know what I mean? So like from there on, where did you find it? Like, you know what I mean? Your love, all
so-
of that. Like,
The passion.
So yeah, me and my pops used to go to all the movies and stuff. We did a lot of breakdancing, and then to be honest, my pops passed away when I was like 10 years old. You feel me?
R.I.P.
Yeah, and
Rest in peace.
yeah, man. And then after that, I was kind of trying to fill the space. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
with
to fill that
different
void.
things. Exactly. So I kind of kept following breakdancing and hip hop culture. You know what I'm saying? To kind of keep me kind of close to his memory, kind of thing. And
I see.
and then what happened was in the early '90s, Kool-Aid, shout out Rebel, from Soundsmith Productions,
Smith Productions.
and some other dudes from our neighborhood, from Falstaff. They had connected with a producer in our area. The actual producer lived over at Church,
Oh, okay.
truthfully,
Okay.
right? And they connected with the producer, and the producer kind of wanted to start up a group, something similar to TBTBT,
Bless
which
up
is
the
a
TBT.
which is another Toronto pioneer foundation group that
I remember them.
help pave the way for everything that's happening right now. You know what I mean? They were, and so TBTBT and Split Decision, which was what we started as, were kind of the two urban kid groups that kind of started everything. We were kind of like the tester groups. You know what I mean? To see if people were gonna gravitate to urban music, because before we came out, there was no urban music groups. There were nothing on Much Music, no hip hop videos unless it was straight from
The States.
the States or Maestro Fresh West, right?
Bless up the Fresh West.
Maestro Fresh
Yeah.
West is definitely the godfather. He started everything and he inspired all of us. You know what I mean? And then we came shortly after that. You know what I mean? After Maestro Fresh West, and I would say Mishi Me as well too.
Bless up the Mishimi.
You know what I mean? Like those are the original founders of Canadian hip hop. You know what I mean? Like
Don't know.
that's the true beginning. You know what I'm saying? of
Mm-hmm.
everything. And those are the the artists that were able to come out with urban music and actually break through to mainstream. And they were on much music and things like that.
True.
So we were kind of the second wave of that.
Okay.
And
Okay.
so, anyways, to make a long story short,
Go on.
they started. A couple of my friends from Falstaff, they started making music with this guy from their neighborhood,
Yeah.
from Chithaway, and he basically told them at some point that they need a fourth member. So there was
Okay.
three of them, and he basically was like, he thinks they need a fourth member. I don't know if is my mic on?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my mic, I don't know if
Yeah.
you guys can hear me though, right? My mic. Okay. Yeah. So it doesn't matter.
We're
Whatever.
good. We're good. We're good. Don't worry. We're good. We're good.
So yeah, they basically came to me and they were like, we need a fourth member. Can you rap? Now at this time, like I said, I started out with like breakdancing, and obviously I sing my favorite songs. All the hip hop songs I was listening to at the time, and they asked me if I could rap, and I immediately was like, yeah, of course I could rap, but I had never rapped before in my life. Like I had never written a rap at all, right? But it's like one of those things in the hood where like mans will come to you and be like, yo, you ever done this before? You're like, yeah, of course. Of course I did it. What you talking about? Yo, I did that enough times. You know what I'm saying? Like, so basically, I was like, yeah, of course I could rap. So they were like, okay, well, we need a fourth member to our crew, right? So, why don't you, write a rap, and then we're gonna come back and listen to it. If we like it, then we're gonna ask you to join, kind of thing. You know what I mean? So
the group was already there.
The group was already. It was starting.
It was starting.
Yeah, it was starting.
Okay.
It was starting. Right. Nobody knew who they were. Nobody. You know what I mean? They were just starting to kind of formulate something, right? And then, so basically, I wrote my first rap to Janet Jackson Rhythm Nation instrumental.
Bless
Yeah.
up the Janet Jackson.
Yeah, I don't know how many people even remember that song, even know that song exists, but it was a big tune from Janet Jackson, and that was on. If you could believe it, I don't even want to date myself right now, but that shit was on cassette. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? And I wrote it.
8-track.
Yeah, no. Cassette, tape. Not 8-track. Don't take me back that far. Goddamn, I ain't that old. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I wrote the verse to that soundtrack. They came back, they listened to it, and they were like, "Yeah, man, we want you in." You know what I mean? And that was the beginning of Split Decision. That was literally the beginning of everything. You know?
So what made you guys change it to change the name afterwards
To Graffiti Logic.
to Graffiti Logic? Yes.
So it was Split Decision. When it was Split Decision, there were 4 of us.
Okay.
And then one member of the group left the group. And so there was only 3 of us.
Yes.
So we decided to rebrand the whole thing
Okay.
and change the name to Graffiti Logic.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
Because it was, we didn't want to be kind of associated as the 4, because now it was just 3 of us.
Mind me asking, is any of those the group albums in the archives of in the catalog?
What do you mean? On online?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can pull up. Oh yeah, if you go online and if you go on Google and you punch up Graffiti Logic on a Mission, that was the album.
Okay.
From that group. The Split
See.
Decision.
Can I
When we
get
were
a
Split
yo?
Decision, we never released an album.
Okay.
We only released singles. We released Bubblegum. That
Yes,
was the
I
first,
remember that.
the very first single, right? And that was a big tune, man. It
It
was
was.
one of the first Urban Kid album or
I seen
songs
that
that was
video.
on Much Music.
I
Like,
seen that video at Schedule's house. I'm like, what the fuck? Where did you get
Yo,
this from?
I-
I didn't even know you even come up with a video yet.
yo, the craziest thing with that album is it simultaneously made me so famous, but such a target at the same time.
Of course.
Okay,
Screwface
because-
Capital.
Because a lot of people were like, "Oh, that's some, that's commercial rap," right? Because it was a commercialized song, but we were kids. You know what I'm saying? We're kids just trying to bust. You know what I'm saying? So we're not gonna be rapping about guns and drugs and shit and the hood because we're not even
because
we're not even deep into that at this point. We just live in that environment. You know what I'm saying? But we don't really have stories to tell about that type of music. So we're rapping about girls and saying, you're like my bubblegum kind of thing. You know what I mean? So we're doing like a young kid thing, right? But the thing about it is like at that time, the battle rap scene was starting to surface. You know what I mean? And everywhere I went, mans wanted to battle me because they thought that they could eat my food because I made this bubblegum song. So they thought that like there was in some way that that kind of made me an easy target for a rapper to battle and gain some stripes off of someone that was known. You know what I mean?
I remember.
Right. So hold on. So at the same time, it was I'd go on the subway, and girls are like, "Oh my gosh, can I take a picture with you?" You know what I'm saying?
Like a
And
celeb,
and I'm feeling the energy,
feeling nice.
right? But then I go to different neighborhoods, and man's giving me the cold
The screw
shoulder
face.
and the grill, and confronting me, "Yo, let's battle. I want to battle right now."
hmm
You know what I mean? So that's where a lot of my battle skills came from as well too, because it was like the beginning of my development of that skill. And the thing about it is too, battle rap at that time, I always say battle rap at that time was more like a martial art. You know what I'm saying?
For
Because
sure.
it wasn't something where yeah, it wasn't like what it is now, right? And not to diss, like battle rap now is still dope. You know what I'm saying? Battle rap now still takes a whole lot of skill, a whole lot of writing.
Lyrically.
You
Yeah, you
know,
have to come out.
yeah, you have to have skill. You have to be able to write. You have to be able to put things together. You know what I'm saying? But in the time when I was battle rapping, there's no writing or nothing. You're battle rapping, freestyling right off the top of the head, right then and there. You know what I mean? You make a mistake, you have to live with it. You know what I'm saying? Or you have to turn it around and make it work. You know what I'm saying? So it was a different thing, but it was very spur of the moment. You know what I mean?
I remember you did a rap battle in Windsor with
Oh, the
I
infamous,
remember that
the
with Snipes.
infamous.
I was there,
uh,
man.
That
That
was
was
crazy.
ill.
That was crazy.
yeah.
That was
Bless
dope.
up the
That
Snipes,
was Windsor
man.
Sports Weekend. Yeah, man. Shout out Snipes. That's my dog, man. That's my family, my brother.
But before we get into more things here, we have to make one thing here. We have to toast and chill to our sponsor, and that's
To Essential.
hip hop is legit. You don't know? Can you crack that?
Yes, I can.
And just yeah, man. We're gonna toast and chill before we get more into this. Bless up the URP radio. Yeah, you don't know. DJ Denise. You don't know. Bless up family. Yeah, man. You don't know. We in Smoker's Closet here. I am the Rastafari smoking samurai. We have Frankie Payne on the scene here. You don't know. Yeah, man. We're about to toast and chill. You know what I'm saying? Canadian hip hop is legit. You know what I mean? If you don't know, now you know. We're doing it right now. Here we go, people. Here we go. Toast and chill. Toast and chill. Salud. You don't know. That was great. Now let's get right back into this. Like I was saying, man, you're a man of every decade. You know what I'm saying? That was one decade. I would have to say 1 decade long ago. You know what I mean? So from the group here now, what made you go from there to the juggernaut? I can't even say Frankie Payne yet. You got into the juggernaut phase.
For sure. So,
Let's get into there.
I
And
mean,
that
there's a
was
long
like,
legacy
yeah, so long ago.
with Graffiti Logic as well too. A lot of different things happen, but basically, just at the tail end of the whole Graffiti Logic run, I got arrested and I ended up going to jail. And at that point in time, I lost my record contract with Addict Records
Okay.
for Graffiti Logic, and everybody kind of went off into different paths and started doing their own thing. You know what I mean?
Understandable.
Yeah. So um, when I got out of jail, you know what I mean, I was kind of trying to find myself, trying to figure out what I was gonna do. But the whole time I was in jail, I was writing rhymes. You know what I mean? Like a lot of
Not
people.
wasting time.
No, a lot of people don't know that. Like a lot of the Everything's for a Reason album was written when I was in jail at that time. You know what I mean? Just kind of trying to figure out, where I'm gonna go, what I'm gonna do. You know what I mean? And so when I came out, I was kind of on my own, just kind of trying to figure it out. No real connection to the music industry at that time. Whatever links I had, it kind of dried up. You know what I mean? And were not available to me anymore. And yeah, I just, I studied. And then I really got deep into the battle scene. I started going all over the city,
That's
everywhere.
I was like,
Battle
yo,
album.
You know what I'm
that's what
saying?
I was like. I knew about you, but then I said, yo, it's about blood clot time.
Yeah,
Someone representing this city.
yeah, and that's
should.
really what kind of brought up the whole energy and kind of brought me into the spotlight because I was eating man's food left and right. Like I
Yep.
was eating man's food. Sometimes I would go down to Eaton Center because back then Eaton Center, Young and Dundas was like a
Spot.
hangout spot.
Yep,
You know
I
what I'm saying?
remember.
And
Still is
ma-
the spot.
Well,
Yeah.
well, not like before,
Yeah,
man.
and
Not
we-
like
we
before.
would go down there and battle. You know what I'm saying? And I'd be battling like 10 MCs. You know what I'm saying? Like literally, mans and mans was man and mans was
Tag team and shit.
yo, man and mans would just line up, dog. You know what I'm saying? And man and mans would just line up.
Take
And
a number and get in line.
I would just destroy each one by one. You know what I'm saying? Like just yab their food. You know what I'm saying? And put them to sit down over at the side with the kids.
So,
You know what I'm saying?
so
Yeah,
mind me
I
asking,
remember.
mind me asking, why Juggernaut? Because I know the Juggernaut. I'm a Marvel fan, so you know what I'm saying. And the Juggernaut, if you don't know people, X-Men. He's like one of the enemies of the X-Men, and he's the stepbrother of Professor X. You know what I mean? And he cannot be stopped. That I do know.
So I'll be honest. The way the whole Juggernaut thing came about, was that, when I first came to Falstaff, when I was like 6 years old, you know what I'm saying? As I got older into my teenage years, trying to find, friends and trying to, find my place and kind of fit in, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Honestly, I was a bit of an outcast, you know what I'm saying? And like a lot of men from the block, they kind of outcasted me because, I wasn't really, my mom was born in London, right?
Okay.
London, England, you know what I'm saying?
Oh,
And she grew up in Jamaica, you know what I mean? But I really wasn't super versed on Jamaican culture, you know what I mean? At that time, you know what I'm saying? In my younger years, you know what I mean? And I kind of got outcasted by the Falstaff mandem at that time, you know what I'm saying? Because of that, you know what I'm saying? So I got kind of bullied and kind of pushed around and pushed out kind of thing, you know what I'm saying? And then I tried to kind of hang with the like the Italian guys from like across, across the street, the rich kids, you know what I'm saying? Living like over by Rustic Park in those places, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But they kind of outcasted me as well too because I was black.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You feel me? So I was kind of caught in the middle to a degree. You know what I mean? I kept getting kind of, at that time I was getting bullied. You know what I'm saying? I was getting punked off. You know what I'm saying? And at some point I kind of got just tired of that. You know what I'm saying? And I just started, defending myself and standing up for myself and fighting that.
The
You know what I'm
only
saying?
way you know how.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I started getting a reputation for knocking niggas out. You know what I'm saying? And then, a lot of guys would try and rush me, like multiple guys, more than one guy would try to rush me and beat me up. And, sometimes I was able to come out on on my feet and sometimes I wasn't, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes
Okay.
I took a beating, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But if I took a beating, I would literally hunt every one of those guys down one by one and catch them, you know what I'm saying? And deal with their case, you know what I'm saying? And so I got a reputation for not stopping. You know what I mean? Like no matter what, like just keep. Like if you started up something with me,
Cannot
it was
be
going to be a
stopped.
thing where it's just I was going to keep coming.
Cannot
no matter
be
what
stopped.
happened. I was going to find mans. I was going to find a loophole, find a way to get through. You know what I'm
I'm
saying?
getting it now.
Yeah, and then
I'm getting it.
mans, when the X-Men cartoon came out, you know what I'm saying? We all used to watch that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
And then man, to be honest, I can't remember who. Just we were on the block, and the man said, "Yo, you like Juggernaut, You know what I'm saying? And the name just stuck with me. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
And the man started calling me Jugs. Everybody just started calling me Jugs. You know what I mean? And then
all right,
the legend started to proceed
all
itself. And
right. So it
you know
just
what I'm
grew
saying?
on you
Yeah.
then.
So that's how the Juggernaut thing came just from
Okay.
just from my natural persistence. I'm naturally persistent and I'm naturally hard headed. You know what I'm
All
saying?
right, all right.
Plus, the helmet. You know what I'm saying? So
I get you.
you know what I mean? Yeah.
Wow, man. I have to say, then times, man, I was much of a fan, because I was pure underground hip hop for me. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
I
for
was
sure.
picky on, East, West, and but when it came to home, I'm like, oh man, it was tough for me. But you made it easy.
You know what the crazy thing is though? No, that's some real shit you're saying though, eh? Because that's what I always say. People like a lot of people right now don't really understand how hard it was for a Toronto artist in the times that we were coming up. You know what I mean? Like there were a lot of artists, you know what I'm saying, that were coming out of Toronto that had so much talent and that was so good. You know what I mean? But no one would give them the time of day. Like not even Canadians. Canadians didn't even really love Canadian hip hop at that time. I can tell you hundreds of times that I was trying to sell my CD in the street, that Everything's for a Reason CD, which is now like legend. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
People looked at me and said, I don't really listen to Canadian hip hop. And in my mind, I couldn't process that because I'm like, but you're Canadian.
Yeah. Exactly.
You understand?
Exactly.
Like how can you justify being Canadian but not listening to Canadian music, right? But at the same time though too, it was a quality thing. And I understand that. And that's what separated me from the rest. Because not everybody was coming with quality. And so sometimes you have to understand that sacrificing quality sometimes takes a toll on everybody that's in that genre.
So sacrifice came with time.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? Like if a man's not coming with quality music, but he's pushing that music even though it's not quality, and because people get emotionally attached to their music.
Yep.
So it's very hard for the artist sometimes to say, yo, this is shit. Because he made it. Right? I learned that it's very hard to do that. And sometimes I even have to have people around me say, hey, you know what? That's not Guanin. And sometimes I don't even listen. Right? But I'm trying to be different now. I'm trying to kind of listen and weigh out everything and be that person for myself that says, okay, yo, you know what? This is not really popular. This doesn't really work with what you're trying to do. Right?
Going with the evolution.
Exactly. So it's like, what we need to understand is like, now is different. Because Drake kind of opened up everything for Canadian artists. Like, you have to give them man their props and respect because them man they did what all of us dreamed of doing, putting the city in the light to show that we're just as capable as Americans. Because there was a time when all we did was follow American. And there's a time when all we did was just try to emulate what America was doing.
Yes.
And now we're doing our thing. We're speaking our own. I've had people tell me that I'm too Toronto because I'm spitting the slang. Because I'm spitting the slang, and they're telling me that people don't want to hear that. But now look.
But look
the youth
what's
them
going
are
on
doing
now.
that. The youth them are doing that, and it's blowing up the city.
Yep. That's right.
And I love to see it. I love because in my mind it's like, look at all these people that told me that I was doing the wrong thing. Right? Maybe I wasn't able to get to a certain level to blow it up. But now I'm seeing all of these young youths, they're coming out and they're making the music their own, and they're using our slang. They're using
the
our real
simplest slang, but use all the time. You don't know.
You don't know.
But you've been saying that long time ago.
Even that.
You've been saying that
Even
long
that.
time,
And people-
over 20 years ago.
And the thing is now people from America and other countries, they want to hear that. They like that. It's fresh. It's refreshing to their ears.
Yep.
Because it's something different than, what up, son? What up, Dunny? Right? So it's a blessing, man. You know what?
That's
God speaks in mysterious ways.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you just have to be able to kind of listen and pay attention if you want to hear God speak,
Now, I just want to get into one more now. Now we go on a couple of more years now. What from evolution from the Juggernaut to Frankie Payne?
So that,
Because you always in Frankie Payne.
of course, Frankie Payne is who I truly am. You know what I mean? Like Juggernaut is just an alter ego. You know what I mean? Like Juggernaut is, you know, the persona that I created to protect me from the world. You know what I mean? Like to protect me from everything. You know what I mean? And to guard me. And you know, he's always gonna, Juggernaut is always gonna exist within me, right? But you know, Frankie Payne is the creator.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Frankie Payne is God, so to speak, in my world.
But what made you decide to say, yo, it's time to be Frankie Payne now?
So I think that's when I kind of made my transition from Brown Bricks Entertainment, because you know the Juggernaut portion of my career is also connected to Brown Bricks Entertainment, right? Which is, you know, the independent label that we created for Southside James Street to kind of encompass Falstaff, Chathui, you know, Walner, every block, like even Scarlet. You know, they were all these blocks were connected to Brown Bricks. You know what I mean? The Maze, 1779, the cottage at Jane and Church.
On the south side.
All of these blocks, right, were under the Brown Brick umbrella. And the thing about it is, what a lot of people don't realize, especially like the young youth that are on Jane Street that are all beefing with each other right now, they never got to witness the power of that.
Okay.
At that time, right, Southside Jane Strip was beyond powerful. Like you could not violate a man from Southside Jane Strip and get away. You could Jane Street. Everybody was making money. Okay, no shots were flying at Man and Man's. You understand? And
business.
Man and Man were separate, but if something happened, we all came into one entity kind of thing. And it was a beautiful thing, you know. Unfortunately, though, nothing lasts forever.
Oh, yeah.
And
true.
You know, conflicts happen, and choices had to be made, you know. And I decided to kind of separate myself from spiritual and more wisdom related kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? Because Juggernaut is associated to street shit, gangster shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that was a time in my life when those things were very relevant to me. You know what I mean? Like, but you know, another thing too is, you know, when I made that transition from Juggernaut to Frankie Payne, my mom passed away as well. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And I was 27 at that time.
All right.
Right? And my little brother and sister, they were young.
So you had to like.
So I had to take them in.
You had to like not only be.
Take them in. I didn't have to do anything.
Yeah, but
you know what I'm saying?
But yo,
I did
family's family.
I did what was right.
Yes.
I did what was needed to be done.
So you had to man up.
Always do.
You had to man up at a young age.
Yeah, and I had to make a decision. You know what I'm saying, about what was important to me at that time.
You almost had to be almost like a father. Yeah,
and I had to. You know, I just had to decide: am I gonna risk, you know, certain things, for the street, or am I gonna maintain certain things and be a foundation? You know what I mean? And so I decided, you know, once I broke away from the whole Brown Bricks thing, which was kind of perpetuating a lot of that gangster shit and a lot of that negativity.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Then I had to make a decision on what I was gonna do going forward for my family.
Okay,
you know?
Okay.
And so I decided that, you know, I'm gonna go with my real name, and I'm gonna start creating, you know, a different type of music, you know, based on because the thing about me is, when I write music, it has to be real to me.
Yes.
I have to believe what I'm saying. The reason why people that listen to my music get so sucked in and become so attached to it is because I truly believe everything I'm saying. It's not something where I'm making something up or I'm
some people could relate to.
It's not even about what they could relate to. They can feel the sincerity. They can hear and feel the sincerity. You know, sincerity. You have to understand that everything sonic causes a vibration.
Yes.
Okay.
Indeed.
Everything sonic causes a vibration.
Yes.
That means the sincerity in your voice, which is a tone in your voice, causes a different vibration than a lie.
And then after you could get a different reaction
You
from the
understand,
from a
cuz?
from
You're gonna
yeah
get a
from
different feel.
a
You
feel from
understand?
the emotion from the person towards.
Exactly. So the thing about it is, when I changed my life to take care of my family, I could no longer rap like Juggernaut
Facts.
because it wasn't sincere. Because then it would be a lie.
Okay.
You understand? And people would not feel the music the way that they do.
Okay.
You know, and for a little while, you know what I'm saying, when I switched over, because I think a lot of people weren't ready to let go of Juggernaut, weren't ready to let go of that grimy power, that, you know what I'm saying, that overwhelmingness. They weren't ready to let go of that. There was a small period of time when people weren't really gravitating towards my music the way I wanted them to, right?
Okay.
But that also has to do with me, you know, getting over my mom's death and
Yes.
dealing with that. You know,
Of
like
course.
anyone that's lost somebody that they love know it takes like a long time to get over that, and you don't really ever get over it, but to get back to normal. You know what I'm saying? You know what? You won't even get back to normal, but to get back to something that similar to normal, it takes a long
close
time.
to
You know what I'm saying?
reality.
Like it's not something that happens in a month or a year or 5 years. You understand? It's something that, you know, like when you lose somebody that you love, that you truly love.
Yeah.
You know, that's a lifetime of healing. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna go on for the rest of your life. You know what I mean?
Most definitely. Most
No, I feel you,
definitely.
Ken. I feel
Oh,
you.
yo, man! I've been doing all the questioning, man.
Yeah.
Story P, man.
I know, you
Take it,
just
man.
jump
Take it,
in
man.
like-
Yo, man. You know me. I had to get in depth because I'm a fan, brother. You don't know, man.
You just
You
gotta
know what I
go-
mean?
you gotta go
I've
with
been a
the
fan
energy.
for a long time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You don't know. You don't know.
If
But
there's-
anyway, go on.
Yo, if there's any artist in Toronto right now that you do a collab with, who would you want?
That's a good one. There's a lot. There's a lot of them. Like to pick one is a hard one for me. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of artists.
They're coming out every week.
Yeah. No, but I mean, there's artists coming out every
But I'm
week, but
talking
there's
about
a
like
few
the
of
top,
them.
the top artists.
There's a few of them that are fire. That are really fire.
Man, your
Like,
opinion means a lot to us.
Yeah.
And a lot to everybody out there.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's definitely a group of people that my opinion is important to, and then there's a group of people that don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Right?
Fuck them.
That's the world. You know what I'm saying? That's the world, right? But let me see. Oh man, there's quite a few artists that I listen to that I feel, yo, you know what? Killer the Crook. I really like Killer the Crook. Yeah, Killer the Crook is fire, and I listen to his shit. Definitely Bizlo. Bizlo can spit. Yeah, Bizlo's fire. Bizlo can spit bars. I haven't heard from him in a while, but you know what I'm saying?
Free up, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Free up, man.
yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like he's definitely an artist that I would love to do music with. I love the Griselda man, them CLE. Griselda LeBlanco. Griselda LeBlanco. Yo, that song's fire. You know what I'm saying? Just the way the man them break it down. Roni is dope too. Roni is really dope.
Yeah, he's fire.
Yeah, he's fire. Straight good. He's just straight fire. Like them man there is just pure cannons. When them man there load up and pop off, it's just pure cannons. You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, if we sit here long enough, I can go through a whole bunch. You know what I'm saying? But I guess those ones would be like some of my top, you know, 3 from like the younger generation. You know what I mean? Then there's another generation of artists that I would love to do music with too. You know what I mean?
Now, what's your top 6 artists of all time?
Woo!
Oh, yeah.
Damn.
Oh, yeah. We want to hear this one.
Top 6. Okay, Nas is probably number 1. I'd have to say that. Heavily influenced. I've been heavily influenced by Nas. You know what I mean? Eminem is definitely another MC.
Bless up to Eminem.
Hands down, got to be top 5. You know what I'm saying?
Bless up.
Biggie.
Bless up.
Biggie Smalls for sure. Those are like, I guess, staples in a top 5 list. You know what I'm saying? Like most people will have them in their top 5 list, right? I definitely would have to say Big Pun. Big Pun is definitely one of the if you ask me, one of the greatest machine gun rappers that ever lived. You know what I mean? So what's that? 4?
Mhm.
Okay. I, I know I gotta throw this one rapper in there because I'm such a fan of this guy's music that like, and even though he's a younger youth, he's not in the same age bracket as the other 4 that I selected. He's a younger guy, but Kendrick Lamar. I would
One
definitely
of
have
my
to say,
Okay,
favorites.
yeah, I
One
would
of
okay,
have
my
to
okay.
say
favorites.
Kendrick Lamar
Bless
is
up the Kendrick
probably
Lamar.
definitely within my top 6. And then I got one more. I'd probably say Ice Cube.
Bless up the Ice
Yeah,
Cube.
I'd probably say
Fuck.
Ice Cube,
Yo,
definitely.
honestly, that's an interesting
That's a
that's an interesting selection too. You know what I
definitely,
mean?
definitely from the heavyweight himself.
Yeah, but Ice Cube, when you think about contributions to the game, when you think about contributions to just the whole culture of the music,
Yo, he put a lot of work into
you know what I'm saying?
he did
And
in and out of the
Listen
scene
here,
too.
man. If you were like I'm saying, like they're saying all these roses and everything, he should be getting his roses.
for
Yo,
sure,
Straight
for
up
sure,
goods. I don't give a
it's
for
fuck.
credit,
sure,
it's credit
Straight
to the
up,
dude
credit
long
to
sure.
time
dude.
ago. You
For
know what I
sure,
Straight
mean?
up.
for sure,
Bless
man.
up the Frankie Payne.
Yeah,
He
man.
should be getting his roses
Yeah,
the
Yo,
same
I
way.
get my roses from the real. You know what I'm saying? It's just
yeah,
like
yeah.
Done no.
the percentage of real and fake is a lot different. You know what I'm saying? But I
So
get
what?
my roses.
So what's the future for Frankie Payne? Like new music, any new visuals or anything like that? You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
well, I just released my last single was The Ugly Truth,
Big track,
produced by Soundsmith
big track.
Productions. Yeah, big track. Check that out on YouTube. Um, I got another single coming. In the next little while, I'm gonna be releasing several tracks, and some freestyle verses. And then I'm gonna release a project as well. I have about 3 or 4 projects, kind of just put down, cooking and
Mm.
curing, as I like to call
Brewing.
it. Yeah, just curing.
Z,
Like a jail brew. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
some
So
some fruit cups and,
Speaking
and
of
bread. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, speaking of freestyle, and drop a freestyle to
Oh,
the people them out there.
Jesus Christ!
he putting you on a
It's been a
spot.
long time since I've been
Huh?
put on the spot for a
Put him on the
freestyle.
spot. All right. Well, it's up to Frankie Payne. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
Alright.
I got a little something I can spit. I got a little something I can spit.
Do
Yo,
a acapella or
yeah. I'll do it
regular?
acapella. I'll do it acapella.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
Okay.
man.
Yo, check this out. Yo, flexing like I'm walking with a weapon. You get the impression. I truly believe I'm blessed and protected. Highly respected by the grimy infected. The real wouldn't front for a second. My nigga, check this. Money don't make you gangster or a shooter. I don't care about your IG viewers, you fucking loser. I'm from the sewer and my youth them never seen a roach. Call me ghost. It's really no need for me to brag and boast. I digress. I'ma die west. Crafting this music of substance that you can digest. So blessed, I'll put it on my lioness flesh. Double X, no bounce checks. Let these fakers flex. They
Bam,
don't own
bam.
shit. Spineless, they boneless. If it wasn't for their moms or they bitch, then they'd be homeless. Telling themselves that they focused. Try doing it when Toronto hip hop was fucking hopeless. There's still love in my heart though. Some bridges maintained, some bridges turned to charcoal. Yo, there's still love in my heart though. If there wasn't, man would have done scanned your barcode. Yo, there's still love in my heart though. Nowadays I'm making bread, I'm talking hard though. Yo, there's still love in my heart though. Even though I never get the respect I deserve, yo.
Bam.
Yeah.
You done know. You done know. You done know.
Straight live, you know what I mean? Straight live and direct.
Yeah.
Straight
boy,
raw,
yeah,
straight real.
straight. That is Frankie Payne, people.
Buzz.
Recognize the heavyweight, one of the originals of Toronto hip hop. All right, you done know. We're gonna be wrapping it up. So, tell the people, remind the people where they could be finding your music and visuals and all of that.
Yeah,
Done.
man, just stream my music on any major platform that you fuck with. Spotify, Apple, Tidal, whatever. Just look for Frankie Payne, FrankiePayne. And you can find me on Instagram at ReachFrankie. And Twitter, I am Frankie Payne. Facebook, Frankie Payne. And yeah, man, just look me up online. Make sure you go check out The Ugly Truth. That's my new track. It's on YouTube right now. And yeah, man, stay blessed, stay connected. You know, I got more knowledge, more wisdom, and more love to spread. So you don't know.
That was from the heavyweight himself, Frankie Payne. Don't sleep on him. You don't know. This was the smoker's closet. You know what I mean? This is the Rastafari Samurai. You know what I mean? Never leaving you dry with my co-host. All right.
Logo. Show him the logo, Rastafari. That's the logo.
Sleep, people.
That's the logo. That's
don't
the logo.
sleep on this.
Pay attention.
All right. You know what I mean? Hit him up.
Follow the logo.
Follow him up. Hit him up for the merch.
If you see me on Instagram, post the lion. Post the lion.
Repost and all of that. All right.
All that one stuff.
You don't know, people. All right. We signing out. All right. Thank you for tuning in. All right. This is smokerz Closet. Thank you. Later.